We all go through problems, whether they're friendships, relationships, professional, etc. And we're not always going to go to the same people with each of our problems. So how do we best fit each person in our support network to fill a certain role that best meets our needs? That's what we're going to dig into today. Let's go. Alright, so first thing is first, we have you at the top of the pyramid, because you do not always have to confide in others about your problems. Most of everything that's going on is able to be addressed within. We don't have to be an open bag that's just spilling out onto every single person that we know every time there's a challenge or a failure that's in our life. So next we can drop down a little bit, and this is where things are going to slightly differ between everyone, because yes, I list two parents here at the tippy top before we even get to the first layer of the actual pyramid, because we ideally have parents that have absolute unconditional love for us, and that could be two parents of different sexes, or it could be a grandparent or a guardian. So we all have someone who ideally will fill those roles, and if we don't, that's quite alright. We'll move on without them, but it's great if we do. Alright, now we get to the first degree of the pyramid itself, and this is where I divide it into three different sections. And sibling, as you can see through the dashed lines, is again representing a family member. Ideally, we have a brother, a sister, somebody that we can confide in, that plays that role as a friend, but also that double edge of a family member who wants us to succeed no matter what's going on, because at the end of the day, we're the same blood. But X1 and Y1, I mean, what is that? Well, my way of differentiating between the different arms or branches of this hierarchical organization is dividing it based on the sexes. And of course, we have our Ys as in the chromosome. The Y1 is your best friend of the same sex, and the X1 ideally is your partner of the opposite sex. Now, if your partner is not of the opposite sex, then you can figure this out on your own, and let me know if you want to comment on that kind of video. But this is going to be for the majority of us that are heterosexual human beings. Okay, so now we can move below to the next layer of the pyramid, and that's the second degree, where we have branchings on one side but not the other. Let's first start with the same sex. I have Y2, Y3, Y4, and Y5. And in my eyes, these are our branchings from that core central friend, because oftentimes that core friend is the one that we're going to go to for the majority of our problems. But we'll have almost specialized friends that play a role to fit some sort of needs that we're not always talking to, maybe on the day-to-day basis. We're not seeing them all the time, but we know that if we're having a problem in one certain area of our life, then this is definitely the person that we want to go to. And perhaps that could be multiple people, but that's up to you to figure out. And now on the other side, we have the opposite sex, and here you see nothing. And here, let me know if you differ, but I take the stance of I have my top number one female partner. I don't have female friends that are very close to me, but I have at the very bottom is the four friends that are of the opposite sex that are at that third tertiary degree, where they're not people that I want to text all the time or see on a frequent basis, but perhaps they're coworkers, perhaps they're people I see on a regular basis, that it's a very mutually beneficial and productive professional relationship. They are literally just friends of the opposite sex, and that plays a role. That is an important role that needs to be filled, or else you're going to put an overdependence on others, and that's something that is going to lead to a disbalance between everything. And here again, on the same sex, we see Y6 through Y9, and again, these are likely the tertiary friends that are perhaps co-workers or people at the gym or whatever, and yes, they could even extend to online. I perhaps have Discord friends that are pseudonymous and people that I actually trust and converse with frequently. And yes, they're not going to fill that role as my number one best friend, but they play a role. They serve a purpose in my life, in my social support network, and they know it and they respect it, and I play one in theirs. And so that's just about it. Perhaps there's a quaternary layer to it all, but I haven't gotten there in my life. So if you feel like that is something that's needed, then again, let me know in the comments. But as you can see on this left side, the whole cone is kind of expanding as we go downwards, because you're going to stay at the very tippy top. That's not going to change. And as we go down, you'll have still those close friends and partners, but further along, you have other people that will fill those gaps below, but it's rare to fill those gaps above. So make sure you have a very core, tight group at the top, and always fill in where you need it as you see fit below. So now am I saying that we should go out there and consciously assign people roles in our heads and say, oh, I'm missing this Y8 and Y9 friends, and I need to go find someone online or in person. No, oftentimes this is done subconsciously. Perhaps all of us are doing this unconsciously, where naturally we gravitate towards certain individuals and we find ourselves coming across certain problems in life and automatically reaching out to said individual because we cherish their response and their perspective on the problem that we present to them, but we don't do it towards others. I mean, we gravitate towards certain people for a reason. And the only way to find out where you're actually missing these links in your own life is to experience problems, get feedback, and see what feedback are you cherishing, which feedback are you relying too much upon, and what are you missing out on? Are you seeing that there's blind spots in everyone that you're getting feedback from? Are they all yes men or yes women? The best thing that we can do is to recognize that we play a role in someone else's hierarchical organization of their support network, and that's all right. Perhaps we're a tertiary friend for someone that is our primary friend. That's all right. There's no need to be attached and to take everything personally, because everyone has their own unique needs. Some people have more needs than others, and we have to give space for everyone to explore the possibilities that this world has to offer. And all I'm here to do is suggest that perhaps there's more people that you need to be taking into your life and deliver value to them so that they deliver value to you, because you never know when you'll need it. And I guarantee that one day you will need it, because we can't take everything on ourselves, or else if we could, there wouldn't be anyone else. And on the counter to everything I've spoken on today is the fact that we cannot be spreading ourselves too thin. There has to be a point in our minds where we say, this person is no longer going to be part of my support network, and that perhaps will hurt us and hurt them, but it's for our best benefit when we know it's going to be the best call that we can make. And it's not an easy call to make, but it's something that we all learn. If you want a video about how to cut people out of your life, how to take people into your life, or anything in between, then let me know in the comments. I'm here to help you all. I'll close by reiterating the idea that this whole video is about the vast network of support that I have, that you have, that each and every one of us have, that are unique to us. We are the ones that can instantly think of so many people that we know have our backs, that we know want nothing but the best for us, and that will be giving us a helping hand in a moment's notice. And that's something that is worth celebrating and being appreciative of. And so give that direct feedback to those that you love and that you care for, because they're going to remember that when you are in need next time. So take that and act upon it as you will, and enjoy yourselves along this journey. Thank you, thank you, thank you.